Dear students, this is 12th zoology video class, chapter 6, part 5. Chapter 6, part 5, evolution. Last video class, we have seen what is biological evolution, then formation of protobionts we have seen, then experimental approach to the origin of life we have seen, Urey and Muller experiments we have seen. The next topic we are going to see is the one evidences for biological evolution. The next topic is the one evidences for biological evolution. Paleontological evidences. Paleontological evidences. So, paleontology is the study of prehistoric life through fossils. So prehistoric life through fossils, that is we call as a paleontological. The fossils are described as the true witness of evolutions or documents. Document of various geological strata of evolutions. So here the various geological strata of evolutions. So if you take any one species, if you study that species of evolutions, there are various biological strata will be there. Strata, different species will be there. Fossilization is the process by which plant and animal remains are preserved in sedimentary rocks. So fossilization means the plants and animals they remain as preserved in sedimentary rocks. That is we call as a fossilizations. They fall under three main categories. They fall the fossilization they fall. The fossilization only they say here fall under three main categories. What are those? We'll see one by one. Actual remains. Actual remains. Here, the original hard parts such as bones, teeth, or shells are preserved as in Earth atmosphere. The hard parts which presents in our body, that is the bones as well as teeth as well as shells, all these are preserved in the Earth atmosphere. This is the most common method of fossilization. This is the most common method of fossilizations. When marine animals die, marine animals means the salt animals, salty animal which live in salt water. That is we call as a marine animals die. Their hard parts such as bones, shells, etc., are covered with sediments and are protected from further deteriorations, which means the animals who ever die in the sea and the marine, that animals are covered by the dust particles, that is the say as a sediments. So that sediments protect that animals from spoilage one. Deterioration means spoilage one. Underline spoilage. Further damaged one. That's what they say here. So they get preserved as such as they are preserved in vast ocean. The salinity in them prevents decay. Salinity means what? The pH, that marine, that salty water. That's what we call as a salinity in them prevents decay. The sediments become hardened to form definite layers or strata. For example, if we take woolly mammoth, that lived 22,000 years ago, were preserved in the frozen coast of Siberia as such. Okay, so that woolly mammoth they lived 22,000 years ago, but they are frozen in the coast of Siberia as they were lived in the 22,000 years ago. Several human beings and animals living in the ancient city of Pompeii, were preserved intact by volcanic ash which gushed out from Mount Vesuvius. Okay, as they protected the woolly mammoth 22,000 years ago, they are still it is preserved in the frozen coast of Siberia. Same thing, several human beings and animals also lived in the Pompeii, which means that's one place where that volcano ash just they covered the human beings. Okay, animals, plants, all they are preserved with help of that volcanic ash. That's what they say here. That's second one, petrifications. When animals die, the original portions of their body may be replaced molecule by minerals, and original substance being lost through the disintegrations. The original substance may be lost by disintegration. These methods of fossilization is called the petrifications. Okay, what they say here, the minerals, all the minerals will be lost through the due to disintegrations. Okay, the original parts may be replaced. Only the original parts only will be there. Remaining things will be decayed. These methods of fossilization is called as a petrification. Just mark it 2 marks important. 3 marks also possible to ask. The principal minerals involved in this type fossilizations are iron, pyrites, silica, calcium, calcium carbonate, and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesiums. So these are the minerals involved in this type of fossilizations. The next one is about natural molds and casts. Even after disintegrations, the body of an animal might leave indelible impressions on soft mud, which later become hardened into stones. So even if you walk the wet mud, what happens? Our footprint will be there. That footprint, when that soil dried, means that footprint will become hard. That's what they say. Such impressions are called molds. The cavities of the molds may get filled up with many dust particles by hard minerals and get fossilized, which are called casts. Hardened fecal matter termed as carpolites occurs as tiny pellets. Analysis of carpolites enable us to understand the nature of the diet of prehistoric animals thrived on it. So that's all the evidence of biological evolutions. The next topic is the one evidences for comparative anatomy. Here, the similarities in structure between an organisms and organisms are accepted as an indicator of relationships. Example, comparative study. Of four limbs of different vertebrates exhibits fundamental plans of similarity in structures. You see, the four limbs of different vertebrates. You know what I mean by vertebrates? Vertebrate means animal which have bones, backbones we call as a vertebrates. So that with that vertebrates of bones We are going to compare. Okay, the fundamental plan of similarity in structures. The relationship can be studied under the homologous organs, analogous organs, vestigial organs, connecting link, and atavistic organs. Just you can underline all these things. We are going to learn in this evidences for comparative analytic anatomy. We are going to learn what is homologous organs, what is analogous organs, what is vestigial organs, what is connecting link, and atavistics organs. All these things we are going to learn now. Here, the homologous structures in vertebrates. In vertebrates, comparative anatomical studies reveal a basic plan in various structures such as forelimbs and hind limbs. Here, you can find the forelimbs and hind limbs of birds, bats, whale, cat, horse, and human. So these are the forelimbs of terrestrial vertebrates to show homologous structures. But here, what do they say here? The forelimbs of vertebrates exhibit anatomically similarity. Anatomy means the body parts structurally seems to be similarity with each other and is made up of similar bones such as humerus, radius, ulna, carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. So all these bones are there here. So the forelimbs of terrestrial vertebrates, all these bones are present here. But here, the structures which are similar in origin, but they perform different functions. The structure seems to be similar when we compare with the bones, the humerus, radius, ulna, carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. But their function is different. So that is we call as a homologous structure. So that brings about divergent evolutions. They'll ask you what is divergent evolutions. This is important one. They'll ask you what is divergent evolutions. Just mark it out. Important. 2 marks or 3 marks. So yeah, this is what the divergent evolutions. Similarly, here the thorn of that's a plant. Similarly, the thorn of bougainvillea and tendrils of cucumbita and Hisam sativum represents homology. The thorn in farmer is used as defense mechanisms from grazing animals. And the tendril of latter is used as support for climbing. The next one is one analogous structures. The organisms having different structural pattern but a similar functions are termed as analogous structure. Just mark it out. 2 marks. For example, here they say you can find the analogous structure here. So they say the wings of birds and insects. The wings of birds and insects are different structurally but perform the same functions of flight. That brings about convergent evolutions. That brings about convergent evolution. Mark it 2 marks, important 3 marks also. So what they say here, but both the birds as well as insects, wings are different structure, but their function is similar. That is we call as a convergent evolutions. Whereas divergent evolutions, the structure are same. The structures of the bones of animals are same, but their the functions are different. But here, when it comes to the convergent evolutions, the birds as well as insects of wing structures are different, but their function is same. So that's what they say here, analogous structures as a convergent evolutions. There are other examples of analogous organs includes eyes of the octopus, of mammals, and flippers of penguin and dolphins. The root modifications in sweet potato and stem modifications in potato are considered as analogous organs. So both of these plants have a common functions of storage of food. Storage of food one. Okay, just go through what we have discussed today. Today we have completed evidences from a comparative anatomy of homologous structure, analogous structure, what is divergent evolutions, what is convergent evolutions, and also we have completed evidences of biological evolutions. Evidences of biological evolution. Just go through today itself because these are for entrance point of view. It is very very important one. Just go through. They'll ask you what is divergent evolutions, what is convergent evolutions. If you have any doubt, you can contact me through WhatsApp. Okay, bye. Take care.